Test Drive with Graham Fletcher.
This week on Test Drive, we go off the beaten track to look at the new 1988 Toyota 4Runner. It's equipped with their new V6 engine and has a four-wheel drive capability. This week we're not going through the pylons because this type of vehicle just isn't suited for running through that sort of course. Toyota billed this as being one of the very rugged four-wheel drives around, and thus far it's proven itself to be as rugged as they bill it. With this new generation of off-road vehicles, one of the things that you notice is it's got everything in it that you'd expect to have in any good road sedan. And yet, as you can see, it'll put up with just about anything you want to put it through. I think we're about to lose one cameraman. One thing I should point out, if you anticipate needing the four-wheel drive, you must physically get out and manually lock the front hubs. Most of the competition features shift on the fly. It's just a matter of preference as to whether you can be bothered to do this or you need the shift on the fly capability. When you do set the manual locking front hubs, once you've done that, you can shift between two and four-wheel drive virtually at will. Now we're in two-wheel drive, and that's why the wheels are spinning. Now we're back into four-wheel drive and we won't get stuck anymore. Now that we're on the pavement, the suspension that gave us good sure footing off-road, I'm finding it a little bit too stiff for my liking. It's just on the firm side, a little bit too much on the firm side. A lot of the minor bumps and road imperfections you feel, it's really quite a bone-jarring ride if you're on broken pavement. To Toyota's credit, the 5-speed is a very smooth shifting box, not at all truck-like as I was expecting. Clutch, beautiful, nice modulation, very light in operation, no problem at all. You cannot drive this car like a sports car. If you do, it's going to turn turtle on you. It's just basically not a sports car and shouldn't be driven that way. The center of gravity is high, and so if you push it into a corner too much, you're liable to find yourself on your side, which is not where you want to be. This week's pet peeve is now I've finished with my fun, I've got to go and wash this thing. But seriously, to get anything out of the back, you have to wind the window down. When it's all the way down, unlock it, release the handle. In winter, can you imagine when the lock is frozen and the glass is frozen in the channel? You're never going to get anything out. Anyway, that aside, let's go and see how I rated the 88 4Runner. Although the 4Runner has a high center of gravity, there was little nose diving when it came to the braking. They were short and predictable, and so I awarded 7 out of 10. Any multi-purpose vehicle suffers in the handling department. However, the 4Runner is one of the better ones I've tested, even though I commented on the suspension being a little too firm for my liking. The new V6 engine gives the 4Runner what it's lacked in all previous models, and that, put simply, is power. The interior noise level is again within acceptable limits given the type of tires. At 21 miles per gallon, you're going to have to dig deep to keep the tank full.
Test Drive with Graham Fletcher.
With the popularity of the pickup truck growing every day, it seemed an opportune moment to put a 1989 Toyota 4x4 extra cab with a V6 under the hood to the test. Now, running a vehicle like this through the pylons proves absolutely nothing, so we're going to be testing this on-road and torturing it off-road. During the off-road portion of our testing, the Toyota handled itself very well. In four-wheel drive low, the truck climbed up some pretty steep banks. The best part, though, with four-wheel drive traction, you can go just about anywhere you want, including rivers. Many of the design criteria for a pickup truck are predetermined because of its intended use. Toyota's latest generation truck, with its rounded lines, tall stance and plenty of glass, is a fairly attractive package, and with the 3-litre V6 engine under the hood, Toyota should find the truck in great demand. We put the engine to the test by running it uphill and down dale. At all times there was ample power, and the available torque really impressed me. Both will come in really handy if you venture off-road or need to tow a trailer. With the right equipment, this truck can tow as much as 3,500 pounds. The transmission is a very civilized affair. During the test, its smooth positive shifts and progressive clutch seemed remarkably untruck-like. You must remember to lock the front hubs before venturing out, otherwise the extra cab does not offer shift-on-the-fly transition from 2 to 4-wheel drive. Our test truck's box was only 3 feet 9 between the wheel wells, and so you cannot utilize the floor for carrying standard sheets of gyprock. Once you have negotiated the high step up into the cab, you are greeted by a very well-appointed, well-finished passenger compartment. The seats are comfortable, the dash well laid out, and despite the mud and snow tires, the interior noise level is very quiet, even at highway speeds. All this leads me very nicely to my pet peeve. With the style and panache adopted inside, I cannot understand why Toyota selected a rock-hard suspension system. They could have softened it up enough to be comfortable, yet retaining the firmness required for a pickup. Well, this very picturesque setting concludes our testing of Toyota's latest 4x4 extra cab. I like the extra storage space and I like the V6, but let's go to the scoreboard for a final rating. The 3-litre V6 engine has a plentiful supply of power, and the available torque comes in nice and low down, both desirable qualities for a truck and an off-road vehicle. The very high centre of gravity compromises handling, but when you drive this truck in the manner it was designed, the extra cab proved to be very stable, even at highway speeds. The disc drum setup proved satisfactory during testing. The pedal is easy to modulate and there were no nasty surprises, even off-road. When you consider the large mud and snow tyres on our test truck, the interior noise level was well within acceptable limits. During testing, we averaged 11.2 litres per 100 kilometres or 25 miles per gallon. Not bad, but if you push the truck, your mileage will drop considerably. Having spent some time with this Toyota truck, I can understand why these vehicles are becoming increasingly popular. They are well appointed, comfortable, and most of all, versatile.